Hey guys, this is my 2021 Model S long range version, the refreshed version. And this is the second part of the video where we're looking at how well did this car do after driving it for 6,000 miles. Right now, the odometer reads about 45 miles short of the 6,000 mile target for this video, so I thought I would go ahead and jump in and take care of this for you guys. This second part of the video is we're going to focus on the interior. How well did the car do with wear and tear? Some people have asked me, with this white vegan leather I have in the car, how well has it held up after 6,000 miles? Are there any stains from my jeans showing up on the white vegan leather? How well are instrument panels doing? How well are the cubbies doing? And I know people criticized how much I said the word cubby in the first video I did on this car. So I did an exterior and an interior video highlighting this as well when I first got the car. So this is going to be a second one based on 6,000 miles. How well is everything doing interior wise? What am I liking about it? What am I not liking about it after driving it for the last 6,000 miles? So we're going to go ahead and dive into a lot of those details today. For those of you that did not catch the first video, I did the similar video to this on the exterior of the car, how well it's held up, how well the wheels and tires are doing, where are the rock chips. So I'll put that link below for everyone. So let's go ahead and take a look at the interior of the car. The first thing I'm going to do is open up this main door here, and you can see the interior is just gorgeous. It's actually held up really, really well. It's done a great job for us. I've got the other door opened up here also, and it's done an outstanding job in the car. Overall, no problems with any wear and tear or having any blemishes on any of the aspects of the car itself. So let's go ahead and move ourselves around to the other side. Okay, coming around to the other side here. Yeah, so overall the car's just done a fabulous job. Not really seeing too much wear and tear on the interior. Everything's held up really nicely. You know, one of the things I went over in the first video is just the design aspects of this car. Like look at the white vegan leather. So what I mean by vegan leather, for those of you that are new to the channel, is this is not real leather, but it feels, behaves, and acts like real leather. It's kind of interesting. To the touch, it feels like real leather. It's not though. It's an artificial, what they call vegan leather or fake leather, for those people that don't want to harm all the animals to create a very comfortable leather interior. It smells good. It works really well. I also love the design aesthetics where they have the black, the nice walnut wood grain, and then they show this nice blue fabric there. Then they go to the black again. So just the design around that's just beautiful, with that nice little silver strip there right below the brown walnut wood there. It's just gorgeous. On the vegan chairs themselves, no signs of any kind of wear and tear on the bolsters here, as well as down below where my jeans, and I always wear jeans all the time, especially when I'm going into work. No wear and tear at all. I'm getting as close as I can here to detail this for you guys. But you can see that overall these seats have just held up very, very nicely. No challenges at all. And this seat is the one that's got to have the worst amount of wear and tear, only because I've done a number of road trips in this. I'm the one that's put most, if not all, these miles on it. My wife and kids do jump into the car from time to time, but not nearly as often as I have. Maybe my wife and kids have maybe 1,000 miles in the car, but overall, it's mostly me. So overall, you can see that things are looking really, really sharp. Let me highlight a few things in the back end when it comes to the seats. So you can see a little bit of a marking right here. That's just some dirt though from the kids. And then obviously if we put the rest down here as well, that's been doing really nicely for the kids also. So they like that quite a bit. Okay, let's jump inside. Okay, sitting in the main cockpit here, you can see that the car has a main LED screen here in the middle. That's done really well. And then we have another main screen right here that's also done really well. As far as the brightness of the screens, they've all held up really nicely. No problems at all. The responsiveness in the computer, the touch control, using all the different things like climate, the infotainment systems all worked really, really nice. In fact, I learn about new features all the time, just utilizing the main interface and navigating to different places and doing things like that. So overall, wear and tear after 6,000 miles, no problems at all. In fact, again, because I'm learning new things, it's kind of like a new treat each time I get in the car and drive it somewhere. You know, this top part does get a little dusty here and there, like any car would, honestly, but just use a damp cloth to take care of that, so no problems there. This main screen here, which would be a concern for me, has also stayed really bright and done a really good job also, so no complaints there. One of the things, I don't know if I highlighted this in my first original video, but there's a lot of Alcantara throughout the car, especially from the bolsters going all the way up to the roof of the car. But you can see here we actually have a glass roof right here, but this Alcantara goes all the way across the whole lining of the car. You can see it right there, all the way across, comes down and goes all the way in the back, and even in the back lift gate you can see it's also that right there as well. So really nice finishing materials in this car, making it be like a luxury vehicle. Again, you know, it's kind of funny. One of the guys posted in one of the videos I made when I first got the car on the interior, he complained about why Teslas don't have all the features that a Mercedes S-Class has. And you know what? I got to tell you, I don't know. But you know what? They're going to get there eventually. And the one thing that's also really nice is that this is electric. It's not a Mercedes S-Class where you're burning through a whole tank of gas once a week and you have to spend a whole bunch of money filling that up. You know, electrical costs are still far lower than gasoline costs, no matter where you live in the world. So anyways, I don't think there's a problem with that. And if you happen to live in an area that's sunny, like I do here in California, where you're going to gain some of that electrical back by just having solar on your house. So things like that can really help enhance it, and you ultimately can drive your car for free. The other thing that is important to point out against, you know, gasoline cars or that Mercedes S-Class that the viewer posted was the maintenance. A lot of people can think about maintenance in cars, but I'll tell you, with Teslas, you don't have to do a lot of maintenance. I have a 2016 Model X. We've taken that car in 3 times over a number of years since 2016. And one of them was for a recall option. But you don't have to do a lot of maintenance on an electric car. So the only thing you're really going to spend money on after you purchase the car is the tires. Really, that's about it. You're going to buy a new set of tires, and that's really about it. So anyways, going back to the interior, so we've been very happy with this. One of the things I also talked a lot about in my original video was a lot of these little cubby door things. So as you can see, there's cup holders here. If I slide this in, if I slide this all the way forward, you can see I put my sunglasses in there. And then down below here, if I slide this forward, you can see I also have you know, some other storage in there as well. It goes in really deep, actually. It's about 8 or 9 inches in deep. And a lot of extra room to store things. But all of these, you know, these types of movements have held up really well as well. This door all shuts really well, so no problems at all with those doors. I think there's a few people that have posted some actual issues with this online, so you can look for those, but I haven't had any problems at all. So everything's been working really, really well. You also have a cubby here as well, so some deep storage. I have some masks in there, one of my badge IDs, and a water bottle in there as well. That actually goes inside here a little bit, about an inch or so. So there's a lot of room in there as well. no problems. This little panel here, a lot of people would think that, you know, after a number of miles, that might get some crazy wear and tear, because you tend to put your arm here all the time. And I could see this getting some wear and tear on it. But again, this vegan leather is just held up amazing. And you can't see any blemishes on there. I mean, it just looks perfect. So no problems at all. And by the way, I even spilt coffee on this one day where I had set my coffee in here, and I think I went over a really horrible bump, and it spilled some coffee up on top of here, and it did not stain it at all. So overall, it's been outstanding. One of the other questions that people have asked is, how do you feel about the yoke steering? And I got to tell you, I love it. A lot of shocked people when the yoke steering first came out from Tesla, and I did a couple videos on this as well. I've gotten more and more and more used to this. What it ends up becoming is it's almost like a video controller for you. It feels like a giant PS5 handheld video controller. And when you're cruising at night and driving down the road, once you become a little more familiar with all the spots where the buttons are and everything, you remember it, you get your muscle memory going, just like you would with a video game controller. I got to tell you, you will really, really start to like this yoke steering. It really makes a difference. It's not hard turning in a parking lot like I'm in right now in this parking lot. It's not hard to turn it around, maneuver it. If this parking lot were full of cars, it's not that difficult to turn things around and maneuver the car. It's very easy. I do it one-handed a lot of times. You can actually pivot one-handed like here and turn it around like this. As you can see, I'm turning the wheel, so it's actually pretty easy to do. Even holding a phone, shooting a video, it's easy to do. The blinker system, so we have a left and right blinker, and that's mainly because there's no stalks on the car at all. So the blinker system is actually very intelligent. And what I mean by that, if I turn the left blinker on, it uses the cameras on the car to know when I fully have completed my pass or my left turn, and it will automatically turn itself off. I don't have to be one of those people on the highway that has that never-ending turn signal on because they forget to turn it off. And so this car has the capability of knowing that because of the cameras on the car. So that's really nice. This will control your audio. It's going to control volume up and down. You can also press it down to pause music. You can press it to the right to forward to the next song, or to the left to go backwards to the song before, or restart the song. So some really nice controls there. I know that's pretty normal for all cars nowadays, but not so obvious on a Tesla that you can do those things. This can turn on your headlights, but honestly, if it starts to get dark, headlights come on automatically anyways. Over here, you have your wipers, which is really easy to hit. You have a audio feed, which I need to do a video just on the audio alone, but you can press that, ask your Tesla to play a certain song. You can ask it to navigate you to the closest Starbucks. You can ask it to navigate you to go home. All these different things. You can even press it and say, text my wife. And then the car will ask me, what do you want to say to your wife? So you go through that process of the audio. It works outstanding. You got your windshield wipers as well. The only complaint I have, and it's a pretty serious complaint, it's probably the worst thing about the car entirely, is where the horn is, honestly. A lot of people expect this to be the main horn, but I got to tell you, it's not. It's not. It's just an airbag. I think Tesla should have made this the horn, but they decided not to do that for whatever reason. I'd love to know if Elon, you're ever watching any of my videos. Boy, that would be amazing if he did. But if you ever did, just know that this should be the horn. I'm sure you've heard that before already. But this little button is the horn, is what turns out. And the problem is, I myself, I don't go around honking at people. But occasionally there's sometimes someone leaking into your lane and they don't realize they're doing that, and you want to hit the horn as a friendly reminder. Or there could be a situation where there's a car in front of you and you're at a traffic light, and of course that person is just sitting there on their phone looking at text messages. The light turns green and you want to give them a nice tap. Well, you can do it there. That's a little bit easier. But when you're on the highway and someone's kind of not realizing they're entering your lane, that's where you need a quick horn. And all of us have been driving cars for years, have that reflex action to hit this area and not look for that button. So that's really my only complaint about the Yoke Steering, honestly, is where the horn is. Other than that, I prefer it quite a bit more. One of the other great benefits is just you can see so much more without having the steering wheel be right here. You know, if the steering wheel came all the way in over here, you wouldn't be able to see as much. But now I can have full visibility into the main screen while I'm driving. And for those of you that don't know, while the Tesla's driving, this image changes. It gives you a kind of an AR, augmented reality kind of view of your car on the highway. And it shows the lane on the left and the lane on the right, and any obstacles like cones on the road, cars on the road, and it creates a AR version of those items. Even a person that might be walking by, or a person on a bike or anything, a scooter, anything like that, it will show you that in the screen. So people do look at this screen quite a bit more than just getting your speed on the car. You look at it for other reasons, and that's why it's really critical to not have anything blocking that screen like a full steering wheel. So again, I enjoy the Yoke Steering quite a bit. On the main infotainment system, I've really enjoyed this also, with how responsive and fast it is and how to control different things. This main screen's really nice, and obviously we can go through all the different features on here. You know, the pedals and steering, you can make all the adjustments you want to on the car. The suspension one I've been using quite a bit more, so I usually will set it in sport, low, but on long road trips I have also set it in comfort before. Comfort's a really nice setting, and then sometimes I'll move it up to medium or high if I'm going over a really high speed bump and I don't want to bump the front fender, as we were kind of talking in the previous video on the exterior. Charging I use definitely when I'm on road trips, and also I have to time my charges in the house. Some of you may ask, how do you charge 2 electric cars? That's been a common question. And we do that by using the timing. So a lot of times my car will charge first, and usually each day I'm charging maybe 80 miles, depending on how many miles I drove. But you never have to charge the full battery. You're just charging the amount of battery that you've burnt off. My wife also has a 2016 Model X. It's our older Tesla, and still feels brand new, honestly. But she charges also. So she'll charge as soon as my car finishes. Her car will come in and charge for her. And she actually drives more miles than I do, but she's able to easily charge on that. Autopilot's been amazing. I've had no complaints about autopilot. I am very, very close to getting the full self-driving beta version. I've got my safety score now back up to 95%. I think just a couple more weeks and I'm going to be at 100%, and then I'll be able to start showing you guys full self-driving videos, which is something I'm really, really looking forward to. So we'll look at that. You know, locks are locks, but the different types of access that have access. Whoops, I hit the button accidentally on the yoke. But anyways, people can access, this is my wife, but people can access this. This is the lights and the different controls you have on headlights, the dome lights in the car. You can control lots of different things here. The main display that we're on now for the infotainment system, I did a video on just cleaning the displays and what do you use, but you have the ability to control different things here, even controlling the display in the back seats, locking it. things like that can also be very, very helpful. So no problems at all. My Model X, as I told you earlier, it doesn't have a rear screen. And in fact, what makes the rear screen really is allowing the people in the back seats to be able to control the climate back there. That's one of the best features on that rear screen. In my older Model X, there is no screen. So a lot of times if we have people in the rear seats, if they're friends and we're going out on a dinner date or something like that, they can't control the climate back there. So I'm always having to do that while I'm driving, or if my wife's with me, she'll control that for them. So there's also a great trip computer here as well. So you have the ability to control your trips, and look at the different energy usage in there. There's overall navigation, what is turning on, how to control different things, how to avoid the ferries or the tolls, things like that can also be programmed here. There's safety. So as another video I really need to do is the live cameras and Sentry mode, which is basically the security system that Tesla has. Controlling that. I have used valet mode a number of times. If you bring your car to a restaurant or a hotel that might have a valet, you can put it in valet mode, which is really nice because you can put in a special key. If a valet is driving the car, apparently it won't go over 50 miles an hour when they're driving it. You can't do like a 0 to 60, and you can't shoot it really fast. It basically limits the speed and the ability. The other thing that some people don't know, in valet mode, it will lock the glove compartment and the front frunk. It'll lock that as well. So if you want to put your laptop in the front frunk or any special items in the glove compartment, you can do that, and the valet will not be able to go in there. It pretty much locks all that automatically when it is in valet mode. Service can give you heads up on certain things. Right now, I think I have some low temperature on some of the tires right now, so I need to get some air in there, but it will keep track of, not temperature, but air pressure, PSI. So that is one of the things that I need to double check on the car, but it will give you an indication if there's anything like that going on. Next item is software, which is going to give us all the latest versions we're on. And then we have upgrades, and you can see what upgrade options are available. Even though I already have premium connectivity for a whole year, I'll have to update that and start paying $9.99 a month for the what they call the connectivity subscription package, which I would definitely pay the $9.99 a month for that, because it's really nice. But you get access to streaming music. You need it for full self-driving. You get better, more details around the maps. So a lot of great things related to that. So overall, the infotainment system's been good. No problems there. One of the other questions I get quite frequently is, when you put your foot on the brake, you can see it starts to get into drive mode, and basically to go forward or reverse, you flip up. So I'm in forward mode right now, and then when I want to go in reverse, you flip down, and the cameras kick in when you do that. I'll go ahead and leave it in park here, but a lot of people said, "Oh my God, that seems really difficult to put it in forward or reverse." It's easy. I got to tell you, a lot of people overreacted to that. It's super easy. Whenever you put your foot on the brake, boom, it comes up. Boom. And it's super easy forward or reverse. I literally get in the car, put my foot on the brake, up, down. That's it. Up, down. So it's real easy to use. A lot of people got overreacted to that, but it's very, 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 very easy to use. So don't let some of the con people out there or the negative haters with Tesla make you think that that's not easy to use. It's very easy to use. So no complaints there. Some of the other things in the interior that people might have questions on is, how well is the carpet holding up? on the car, and is there any wear and tear on the carpet. Let me just kind of step out here, get down a little bit lower so you guys can see the detail here. But overall, look, the carpet's held up really nicely, even with 8,000 miles on it, 6,000 miles on it. No wear and tear on the carpet. Pedals have this nice aluminum cover. They're holding up really well. They look brand new still. No problems at all. Also down here below, we have our main floorboard here with the Tesla Model S. No scratches at all. And I know I've scruffed that a number of times with my shoes. Sometimes for work, if I wear some nice hard leather shoes, no scratching there. This rubber here is held up really nicely. It's not crinkled at all. I know that some of the older Model S's have had some challenges with that rubber, and just even how it seals around the door here, and you can see how nicely it's done here. No problems there at all. So again, no complaints with this at all. I've enjoyed it a lot. The wear and tear seems about normal as any other car, and I in the past have owned BMWs, I've had a few Porsches, things like that, and it's wearing and tearing about as much as any kind of luxury car in its class. That's very similar to some of the brand names I just mentioned. Let's take a look at the rear here. So my kids have mostly been back here in the rear. No problems with them at all back here. And they, of course, have spilt a few more items than I have. This black area here has gotten scuffed up a number of times by the kids. But honestly, I just take a wet, damp cloth, cleans it right off. No problems at all. The carpet itself, one of the great things about Teslas is that it's a flat floor. You don't have a bulge here at all. It's just completely flat, and that's held up really well. Look at the carpets, are all really good condition. No problems at all with the carpets and even the side panels. The seats themselves, very similar to the front seats. No problems at all with any wear and tear after 6,000 miles back here. But again, the kids have not spent nearly as much time in the car as I have. So the real test was that driver's seat that I showed you guys in detail. But around here, you can see there's no problems at all. The middle fold down here, this thing's held up well. There's a number of areas, another cubby right there to put things in, but no problems with the way that this is performing after 6,000 miles. And yes, the kids did spill a little bit back here. I've cleaned it up since, but you can see no stain. One of the things they spilt in here was actually like a Kool-Aid or a strawberry drink. And again, no staining, wiped up right away. A lot of people get really, really, really worried about this white vegan leather. Most people, oh my God, they don't want the white vegan. I got to tell you, it's gorgeous. It holds up really well, and it does not stain like some people think it would. It's way better than you would think. If you're on the fence, you really like the look of the white, but you're not sure how well it's going to hold up, write a comment down below. I'll definitely tell you. I'll vouch for the fact that I haven't had any problems with it. I've seen spills with coffee, Kool-Aid. I think my wife spilled some boba in here, all types of things, and it wipes up really nicely. Now, this screen here, as we were talking earlier, I got to tell you, the best thing about this screen, a lot of people are like, well, how good is the screen? Do you use it a lot? Well, I'm not sitting back here that much, but I'll tell you, it's supposed to eventually, you're supposed to be able to get games and do things back here. That's not here yet. Tesla hasn't released that fully yet. You do have the ability to control the fan speed. You have the ability to control where the, you can see here, I can adjust this a little bit so I can show where the climate control is coming in from. You can point one to one kid on this side and another on this side. You can increase the fan speed quite a bit. Oh boy, that feels good. You can lower it down if you want it to be lower. You can go over to the entertainment area where I am able to watch Netflix, YouTube, and all this actually works pretty well. So, it takes a moment to load, but then you can go in, you can sign into your account. This is a lot of my son's videos and things like that he plays with, but it does have the capability of doing all these things, signing into your other accounts and everything. Eventually, they're supposed to get gaming back here as well, which we do have gaming on the front machine, but front screen there. But back here, they have not released the gaming yet. Once they do that, I will definitely do a video. I want to do a video of my son actually playing a couple of these games, because he plays them quite often. Is pretty decent at them too. So you can see how well he does at that. But overall, the back seat has held up really well. Again, I love that Alcantara. You can see a little bit better sitting back here, the Alcantara. And one of the best things about the back seat is the glass roof. During the day, you're not able to really see a whole bunch through the glass roof because there's so much tint on it. But at night, it's a real treat to sit back here, honestly. Really, really nice, luxurious ride that you get in a Tesla Model S, and having that glass roof is a really nice treat to have. So overall, good. Oh, the other thing to point out is under the seats, there's a lot of room for your feet, as you can see here. So, I'm 6 foot tall, kind of give you an idea, and the seat in front of me is adjusted for me being 6 foot tall as a driver. But look at the amount of room I have back here for my legs. So no problem at all. My legs do bump if I force them to bump, but other than that, there's a lot of free room back here. And even if I pull up on the middle console here, I can even, hold my feet over here a little bit too if I wanted to, and or even sit closer to my wife if she's back here with me as well, or a kid. So it's a really comfortable rear seat. No complaints at all about what's available back here. All right, let's work our way to the trunk and the frunk of the car, so we can take a look at that, and I can highlight a couple things there. Okay, let's take a look at the frunk of the car. I just popped it open from the middle infotainment system. So once you do that, it's unlocked and it pops up right away. But you can see here, there's a little bit of space for storage here. I always keep the major connectors that Tesla gives you in the car, just in case of an emergency and I need to charge at a friend's house, although it'd be a very slow charge. I have two extension cords. The black one's 100 foot. This orange one, I think, is a 25 foot, just in case I need some extra length and need to reach a certain plug for an emergency charge. So I highly recommend any of you that have an electric car to always have a few extra extension cords. I have a Tesla umbrella. I actually got this with my Model X when I bought it back in 2016. I think it's a pretty cool umbrella. It's black, small umbrella with a red handle, so it's kind of nice to have. I keep that in here as well, just in case of an emergency. I have a safety vest in case I need that. I also have for emergency use only, a quick spare emergency flat tire repair kit here, just in case I'm on a road trip in the middle of nowhere and I really need to. I heard this stuff though, it kind of kills the entire tire though for you. So you only want to use this in an emergency situation. Never use this if you're just low on air and near a tire store or in the city, because you can absolutely get your tire fixed if it's just low on air. I have a towel there just in case anything's messy and I need that. So this area doesn't get used that often, but you can see there's a little bit of storage in here. This is also where you put your windshield wiper fluid as well. So if you need to replace that, you fill it in right there. A lot of people are like, well, where do you refill it? And that's where you do it. This area I did not clean, as you can tell. I should have cleaned this. A lot of times I do open the doors and the frunk and the trunk to clean those dirty spots when I do wash the exterior of the car. So overall, this is done really well after 6,000 miles. All right, let's go take a look at the trunk of the car, and so we can see how well this has been doing. And we can just, okay, looking at the trunk of the car, you can see we've got first this security panel. I call it a security panel because when the trunk lift gate is shut down all the way, basically this acts as a visual barrier so you can't see what's inside of here. This does conveniently fold up real nicely like that, so you can access other items in here. I don't have that much items in here, as you can see. I do have a blanket because it's still kind of chilly around here in California, so if we're going to a kid's soccer game or something like that, we've always got a blanket in there. I think I got another one down in the cubby here. This side cubby we don't use too often, so I've just kept that there. And then over here there's a little area where I have a little medical kit and a some tape. You never know when you need tape in situations on road trips. Then this panel, as we went over in our last video, pops up really nicely, and I have a bunch of junk down here, but you can see there's some extra jackets. I've got a box. That's actually some sensors for some projects I'm doing at work. And then we have an extra blanket. And then I brought this cleaning solution along with me today as well, just in case I needed to clean anything before I made the video for you guys. So that's there too. But there's one thing that's very surprising about this area, a lot of people don't fully understand, is it's very, very deep. So you can fit a lot of stuff in here, keep the car clean. You can see there's a lot of towels, extra blanket, but it goes pretty deep down there. So it's really nice to have this in the car. One thing you'll never complain about in a Tesla is the storage capability of it. When you add the front, the rear, the fact that the floorboards are all flat and you can put your feet and legs everywhere, there's a huge amount of room in here, way more than the standard gasoline car would ever have of a similar size. There's just a lot of room capability here. So it's really, really nice to have that. The seats also fold down too, and this has one of those, you can fold the right seat down and then the left seat coincides with the middle part. So it does allow you, if you got some lumber or wanted to put a ladder in here, you can fold one side down and then you still have room for a kid or someone to sit on the other side without a problem. So that's really nice to have that as well. The other thing I wanted to point out is this metal right here has held up really, really well. So even though we've slid some heavy suitcases in and out of here, we're usually try to be kind of careful, because I'm sure you guys have all been in cars where this gets scratched up. A lot of car manufacturers will make this be plastic. This is actually a metal material on the Tesla. So, and it hasn't scratched so far, so it's held up really well. And then this lip is up high enough where if you did slide a suitcase, it's not going to necessarily nail the painted bumper here. So it does a really good job of that, just the way they crafted this and did a really good job of understanding where that would be. So overall, no complaints on that either. Been very, very happy with that. So anyways, that is going to probably be the end of my video on the interior after 6,000 miles and how well the car has actually done in the 6,000 miles. Again, is the seats wearing out? No, I showed you that they're doing a fabulous job. I'm enjoying the car quite a bit, even though I'm not driving it as much as I could be, because I haven't been going into the office every day as this pandemic continues to wind down. Thank God they just lifted mask regulations in a number of areas. So I think I'm going to be going into the office more often now. I don't know exactly what my management team will start to decide, but overall, it's a treat to drive this car and enjoy it. Boy, it looks interesting with all the doors open and everything. But overall, I think it's going to be a really fun drive. I'm sure we'll hit 6,000 miles a lot faster, the next 6,000 miles a lot faster than 8 months, as again, this pandemic is wearing off. So if any of you have questions, want me to do a video, recommendations are always wanted. on our channel here. If you want me to focus on any key areas on the car, please feel free to let me know. More than happy to take care of that for you guys. Again, I really appreciate everyone joining and watching the video. Please give me a thumbs up. Watch the exterior video. I'll put that link here down below as well. This was all on the interior and how the wear and tear has worked on the car after 6,000 miles and 8 months of driving. But again, thanks again. Like the video, please subscribe and send the link out to anyone that may want to learn more about Tesla. As you guys can tell, I'm a big fan, but I will give you the hard facts when there is something I don't like, and we'll go from there. So thanks again for your time, everyone. Take care.